This is the day you married your best friend, the one you laugh with and share life's wondrous zest, as you find new enjoyments and experience all that's best. The one you live for because the world seems brighter, as your happy times are better and your burdens feel much lighter. The one you love with every fibre of your soul. You used to feel vaguely incomplete, now together you are whole. You cannot promise a life of sunshine, you cannot promise riches, wealth or gold. You cannot promise an easy pathway that leads away from change or growing old. But you can promise all your heart's devotion, a smile to chase away your tears of sorrow, a love that's ever true and ever growing, a hand to hold in yours through each tomorrow.
Leigh and Lauren have invited each and every one of you here today because so far you have played such an important part in their lives. Whether... No, I think it's oh yes. Mummy and Daddy told me that, Clay. Sorry. I've never been heckled by an 18-month-old before. But here we go, there's a first time for everything, eh? Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Well, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the stunning venue here at Kirknewton Stables on this very special day in the lives of Leigh and Lauren as they become husband and wife in front of you, their friends and family. They have both told me that today just would not be the same for them if you were not here. Clearly, it would be an awful lot cheaper for them if you weren't here, ladies and gentlemen, but seriously, not the same. And so, on behalf of Leigh and Lauren, can I thank you all for being here today. Now, most of us have travelled just a short distance to be here, not too far at all, but there are some who have travelled that little bit further. We have some of Lauren's family who have come all the way from Northern Ireland and from the Isle of Man, which is lovely. Personally, I think it's a bit far to come for a steak pie dinner, but I'm sure that's not the reason why you are here. But no matter who you are or where you have come from, it is wonderful for them that you are here. So, can I thank you all for being here today? There are, of course, others whom Leigh and Lauren would have loved to have been here. And I want to make special mention of Gary Gregg. Now, most of you will know Gary, if not all of you, and you'll know that Gary was supposed to be here. He was supposed to be standing right next to Leigh as one of his best men. But unfortunately, Gary is unable to be here. He's not even in Scotland, through no fault of his own. But I am sure you will have one party when he comes back home to celebrate. I also want to mention Lauren's dad and also Leigh's mum, Michelle. Now, there is a little table outside, ladies and gentlemen, at the bar area, and I would ask you please to have a look at that table a little bit later on. And there's a beautiful photograph on that. But although these loved ones are not here physically, I know that they are here in the hearts of many. Now, to Leigh and Lauren, I want to say to both of you, thank you. Thank you for inviting us here today. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this day. It is an absolute privilege for us to be here. So on behalf of your friends and family, can I thank you all? And thank you both, Leigh and Lauren. And just say to you, the fact that you've put on a free bar for us is just the icing on the cake. We really do appreciate that. There is no free bar, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I just wanted to see Leigh's face. Now, one very proud young lady here today is Elaine, Lauren's mum. Now, I know that today is also a very special day for you. As you look at Lauren, see how beautiful she is. But not only that, but as you think of who she is and the great mum that she is to Clay. And so on this special day for you, can I ask, who gives Lauren to be married to Leigh? I do. Thank you, Elaine, for that. Now, for anyone here today who has ever been at a wedding, you may agree with those who say that the ceremony is the most important part of the day. However, you may agree with others who say it can be the most boring part of the day. When the majority of people want to get it over and done with, move on to the next part of the day, which involves some alcoholic liquor. And those of you who have been blessed with hair, let it down. And begin to enjoy yourselves. And I'm sure that all of you are really looking forward to the reception later on and the party. But it must be said, not as much as our Leigh. You see, ladies and gentlemen, for the past few weeks, indeed months, Leigh has been spending an awful lot of time, effort and money learning some new moves for the dance floor. All without the knowledge of Lauren, which I think is so romantic. It's also very untrue. So there's no pressure on you, but at least now all eyes will be on you later on as you take to the dance floor. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't want us to wait until later on to be relaxed and to enjoy ourselves. I want us to look back on the whole day with a smile on our faces and with some wonderful memories. One of the most remarkable moments in life is when you meet that one person who makes you feel complete. That one person who makes your world a much better place. That one person whom you share that special bond with. And Lauren, we really do hope that one day you will find that person. We really do. We really do. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. You have found that person in this handsome young man whom you stand next to today. The 4th of March is a date that you will remember for a very long time. And Leigh, here is your first bit of advice today. It is a day you better remember. At least once a year anyway, because that will save you a whole load of hassle. But I'm sure you will remember this day for the right reasons. But where did it all begin? Your guests may be asking. For those of you who are here today and are in a relationship, you may recall the first time you met that person and the impact they had on you. Now, when it comes to Leigh and Lauren, they are no different to anyone here. Lauren remembers it well. The year was 2012. Lauren and some of her friends were at tea in the park. As they sat about in the campsite, Lauren's attention was drawn to one particular male as he walked past her. You may ask, was Lauren's attention drawn to this male because of his dashing good looks? Or perhaps it was because Lauren knew this guy certainly took care of himself. As Lauren gazed upon this vision, she remembers saying to her friends, "Check him out." Sadly, Leigh, this was not because of your good looks or even your toned body, but more to do with the fact that you were walking about with a massive jukebox on your shoulders. And it must be said the phrase, check him out, was not said in a good way. The same could not be said of the first impression made by Lauren on Leigh. For Leigh remembers seeing you at a night out in Nando's, where he was there with his mate Blair. Now, as you walked past his table, Leigh could be heard saying to Blair, "Oh, I fancy that Lauren Chalmers." But ladies and gentlemen, it wouldn't be until 2016 that Leigh and Lauren would finally begin their friendship. I want to take you to the world-renowned event known as Bathgate Gala Day. It was a lovely day in June of that year, and Leigh was there with his friends and Lauren was there with her friends. As the day went on, Leigh and Lauren actually bumped into one another. Gladly, this time, Leigh had ditched the jukebox. They began to chat, and Leigh found out that Lauren was going to a house party a little bit later on. Leigh decided he was also going to that house party. Whether he was invited or not, he was going. And this is where Leigh and Lauren would take their friendship to the next level. This is simply because they spent most of the time sitting together on top of a garden hut. During the course of the day, it's also safe to say that some refreshments were consumed by Leigh and by Lauren. As they got to know each other a little bit better, they decided to take a selfie, which Leigh sent to his mum, Michelle, with the text saying, "Most beautiful ginger in the world." Michelle replied asking, "Who is this lovely girl? What's her name?" To which Leigh stated, "Lauren. She's ginger. And she's beautiful." And who says romance is dead, eh? Now, it's unknown to this day if Lauren had actually known about this text message and these mentions of the colour of her hair, and that perhaps she got a little bit upset. But it is a fact that Lauren actually left that party without telling Leigh. Now, over the next few weeks, some messages were sent to and from Leigh and Lauren. It should be said the majority of these messages were sent by Leigh. Now, some say this was because he knew he was onto something good when he met Lauren. Others suggest the continual texting just proved his perseverance. Others say his behaviour was more akin to stalking the poor girl. But in any case, it didn't seem to bother Lauren. For soon after, their first date was arranged with the help of their friends Robbie and Nicola, who'd done a little bit of matchmaking, shall we say. And so off to a lovely Italian restaurant in Edinburgh they would go on their first date, along with Robbie and Nicola. Now, I don't know if that's an East Lothian type of thing that you do, that you take somebody along with you on your first date. I don't know. But it worked. Because on the 29th of July 2016, you had an absolute brilliant first date. And at the end of it, you shared a lovely romantic journey, Leigh and Lauren in a taxi. It could be said it would have been more romantic if Nicola hadn't lay in the back of the taxi, snoring all the way home. Soon came their second date, then their third date, and I want to fast forward to the 11th of October 2020. By this time, Leigh had decided he wanted to spend the rest of his life with Lauren, but as her husband. And so on a lovely romantic weekend away in Aviemore, Leigh got down on one knee and proposed to Lauren. And of course she said yes. And I, for one, am glad she did. Not just because we find ourselves here today witnessing this lovely couple getting married, but I was also thinking how awkward that weekend would have been if you had said no. And as the old saying goes, the rest is history, because we do find ourselves here witnessing them becoming husband and wife. But what is marriage? Some say marriage is like a deck of cards. In the beginning, all you need are 2 hearts and a diamond. By the end of it, you wish you had a club and a spade. What you're doing today, this is not marriage, this is a wedding. A marriage is what happens tomorrow, next Saturday, 6 months' time. It's the being together. It's the sharing all that you have with one another. It's the loving one another and proving that love by what you do. That is what marriage is. And that is what I hope and pray your marriage will be for the rest of your lives together. And it's wonderful for us to be here right at the very beginning of your marriage. Now, Laurie Beveridge is one of Lauren's bridesmaids and one of her best friends. Now, Lauren and Laurie actually met for the first time back at Girls' Brigade in Armadale when they were at primary school, and then moved on to Armadale Academy, where they became great friends. And it's great that you're here today, Laurie, and I'm going to ask you to come forward now and to read to us a poem which has been chosen especially for today.
This is the day you married your best friend, the one you laugh with and share life's wondrous zest, as you find new enjoyments and experience all that's best. The one you live for because the world seems brighter, as your happy times are better and your burdens feel much lighter. The one you love with every fibre of your soul. You used to feel vaguely incomplete, now together you are whole. You cannot promise a life of sunshine, you cannot promise riches, wealth or gold. You cannot promise an easy pathway that leads away from change or growing old. But you can promise all your heart's devotion, a smile to chase away your tears of sorrow, a love that's ever true and ever growing, a hand to hold in yours through each tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thank you, Leigh and Lauren, as you hold each other's hands, I want you to think back to the first time you held each other's hands. I want you to know that the hand you're holding will be the hand that will give you comfort when you need it the most. It will be the hand that you will hold on to and face whatever life throws at you. And it will be the hand that you will hold on to and will guide you in your future together. So Leigh, as you hold Lauren's hand and take her to be your wife, do you promise to love her, protect her, and be faithful to her?
I do.
Lauren, as you hold Leigh's hand and take him as your husband, do you promise to love him, protect him, and be faithful to him?
I do.
Leigh and Lauren have chosen their own vows, and they're going to say them to one another now.
Lauren, today I promise you this, that I will be faithful to you, I will be honest with you, and I will respect and care for you. I will be there for you through the good times and the sad times and share my life with you. I promise to love and cherish you for the rest of our lives, forever and always, my best friend.
Leigh, today I promise you this, that I will be faithful to you, I will be honest with you, and I will respect and care for you. I will be there for you through the good times and the sad times and share my life with you. I promise to love and cherish you for the rest of our lives, forever and always, my best friend.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Now, I said earlier today that all of you here today mean so much to Leigh and to Lauren, but there is one wee man that means the absolute world to him, and that is, of course, Clay. Now, I'm hoping that Clay has something for me to give to his mummy and daddy. Clay, come and see mummy and daddy. Come on here now. Right. You give me mummy and daddy's rings. You're a star. Well done. Well done. Thank you so much, Clay. We'll give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. Well done. Well done. That is wonderful. Now, a few weeks ago, when Leigh and Lauren told me that Clay would have the rings, I thought, how lovely is that? I also thought to myself, why would you give someone who's only 2 years of age nearly the responsibility of the rings? Then I met Robbie. And it all became clear. Oh, but well done, Clay. You know, they say there are 3 rings to marriage. First, there is the engagement ring. Then there is the wedding ring. And then comes the suffering. But seriously though, a wedding ring has a special meaning for the person who wears it. It reminds them of their wedding day. It reminds them of lovely vows that they have said to one another. It reminds them that they belong to someone. So Leigh, will you take this ring and place it on the 3rd finger of Lauren's left hand? And Lauren, you will wear this ring because of your love for Leigh. Likewise, Lauren, will you take this ring, place it on the 3rd finger of Leigh's left hand, and Leigh, you will proudly wear this ring because of your love for Lauren. Ladies and gentlemen, the vows which have been said and the rings which have been offered and accepted give me the absolute pleasure of pronouncing Leigh and Lauren as husband and wife. Leigh and Lauren, will you please have your first kiss as Mr. and Mrs. Salmond? Brilliant. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may have been at a wedding before where the couple have had the sand ceremony as part of their wedding ceremony. And Leigh and Lauren have today in their hearts joined together as one. And sometimes it's good to visualise that idea. Today, Leigh and Lauren join their separate lives together, but not only them, but also Clay. For this is a very special day for them as a family. And in a moment, I'm going to ask them to come forward and take part in their sand ceremony. Now, the 3 vases that are there with some sand in it, they represent Leigh, Lauren, and Clay. Each of the bottles represent them, their own individual lives, their own personalities, their own strengths, their own weaknesses. But as they mix the sand together, it brings the 3 of them together in a very special way. The 3 individual sands no longer exist, but they are one together. And so I'm going to ask Leigh, Lauren, and Clay if they would go and complete the sand ceremony. A wedding wouldn't be a wedding without a little bit of advice for the newly married couple. The do's and don'ts of married life. And I'm sure that some of your friends and family here will no doubt pass on to you their advice once they've had a shandy or 7. But part of my responsibility today is to hopefully give you some which will help you on your way to a wonderful married life. But not only that, this advice isn't just for you as a married couple, but also as a mum and dad. Because we all know on the 21st of April 2021, wee Clay came into the world and made your lives that extra bit special. And so this advice is really for the 3 of you. A few years ago, there was an advert in the telly for L'Oreal hair products. Shampoo, that type of overrated thing. Now, you may be standing wondering, what on earth has L'Oreal hair products got to do with married life, or indeed family life? Well, at the end of each of these adverts, the actress would flicker long hair and have a little catchphrase. And this is where I'm hoping that the relevance comes to you guys. Because I want you to have a catchphrase. And the catchphrase is the same as L'Oreal hair products. It's this: because you're worth it. No matter what the question is, no matter what situation you find yourselves in, I want you to be able to look at each other and say to each other, you know what? I'm doing this for you, and you know why? Because you're worth it. You're worth the hassle. You're worth the stress. You're worth the pressure. You are worth the sleepless nights. And you are most definitely worth the love. So that is my very simple advice to both of you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, every couple that I meet, I always ask them an easy question. And Leigh and Lauren were no different. A number of weeks ago, I asked Leigh to tell me what is so special about Lauren. And to Lauren, I asked, why Leigh? And I thought it would be quite nice just to finish off the ceremony by letting you lovely folks know just exactly what they think of each other. There are times when couples send me their answers that I have to tweak them a little bit. You know, I have to put things in, take things out just to make sure they sound a little bit better. This is not one of these occasions at all. And so I'm just going to tell you exactly what they told me. Lauren said this: I've never met anyone as special as Leigh, ever. He lights up my life in every way possible. He's kind, smart, strong, handsome, and very, very funny. He's such a happy soul, with the most caring nature. His strength amazes me every single day. He will do anything to make me smile and gives me and Clay the best life. Just when I thought I couldn't love Leigh anymore, we had Clay. And he became the most amazing, loving and fun dad to our wee Clay. Leigh loves life and is grateful for everything he has, which I think in himself is such an amazing thing. He works so hard and never complains. And when I say never, I mean never. And it rubs off on me, making me a happier, more positive person in life. I just know I've met my soulmate in Leigh. I love my life with Leigh and can't wait to spend every day together for the rest of our lives and grow our wee family. Leigh said this. Now, I don't know how you're going to beat that. But you gave it a good go, let me tell you. Lauren is the most beautiful woman in the world. She has the kindest heart and would do anything for anyone. She has that kind of heart that she gets upset seeing anyone sitting by themselves and says to me, do you think they're lonely? Do you think they're okay? She has the best personality and makes everyone feel at ease and welcome. She would talk to anyone. She makes me laugh every single day without even trying. She is witty and can come out with some belters. She can also come out with some things which makes me think, did she just say that? Which has me in stitches. We went travelling together, and being with someone every hour of every day could be hard for some couples. But with us, we could do that every day and never be bored. She is just the most amazing person. And I have definitely found my soulmate in Lauren. Now that we have Clay, she has become the most amazing mother. She gives him every bit of love and attention she can, and she is bringing him up to be the best wee boy in the world. If he can get his mama's good looks and her nature, he will be doing no bad. Me and Clay are so lucky to have Lauren. And Leigh finishes off by saying this: Lauren is a beautiful woman with a beautiful heart. Some lovely words from a lovely couple. Now, Leigh, Lauren and Clay, all of us here today know that a marriage and a family is not created by a law or even by a ceremony like this. But it is created in the hearts of three people just like you. Three people who care for each other. Three people who love one another and prove that love by what they do for each other. And I am sure that if you continue to care and share everything together the way you do, and love each other the way you do, and prove that, then you will have the very long, happy, loving married life and family life that you all deserve. And I am sure you will all do whatever it takes. Because you know why? Because you're worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, all that's required now is for the schedule to be signed. So Leigh, Lauren, Robbie and Ailey and myself are going to go to this table here. We're going to sign that schedule. Once we have done that, ladies and gentlemen, we will come back and let you know what's happening next. But for the time being, thank you so much for your patience and your time. And please, can I ask you, put your hands together for Leigh and for Lauren. Thank you. Please, can I ask you to be upstanding and put your hands together for the new Mr. and Mrs. Salmond. Thank you.
Feel your heartbeat close to me. I wanna stay in your arms forever. Only love can set you free.
Hi folks, can everybody hear all right? Yeah? First of all, I'd just like to thank you all for coming along to Lauren's wedding today. And I'm sure you'll agree with me. You make a handsome couple. Beautiful bride. And my new son-in-law is very handsome. I'd like to thank my brother for coming today. He's like my rock. So it's great to have him here. And my nephew and his wife over for Isle of Man. It's brilliant to see them. Plus all my friends and family, and plus all these friends and family. It's great to share this day with you. I'm not going to make a long speech, but obviously Leigh was the first boy that Lauren ever brought to the house. I actually was fearing to bring him to meet me. So I liked him for the start, and then I grew to love him. He's a great guy. And then you get this dreaded question, can he stay over? And you're like, oh, here we go. So, obviously, he says, right, okay. And things were going great. Swimming like for months and months. And then I got up this Sunday morning, I thought, got up early, go make myself a cup of coffee. Just gone through this naked body. And obviously I thought he got called wee Leigh because he's After that morning, I realised that wasn't the reason. So I said to myself, how am I going to deal with this? I thought, I'm not going to say anything. Just let it go. I'm not saying anything at all. So Lauren comes through about 4 hours later. Mum. No. She says, Mum, see when you seen Leigh this morning? I went, aye. He had his boxers on. I went, aye. The invisible ones. It's taken him about 10 hours to get out the room. But I haven't mentioned it to him. I thought, I'm saving that for the wedding day. So he got a wee bit drunk at Christmas here, And he's in there. We're all there at the house, and he goes to his bed, gets up with his boxers on, Being stuck in the toilet. Billy shuts the toilet door to give him a wee bit of dignity. And I thought, Billy, you're too late, son. I've seen the full shebang already. So that's it for me, folks. All I want to say is, have a great night. Let's have a great party. That's what it's all about. Enjoy yourself.
I'm going to follow that. That wasn't true, by the way.
There's no heat on.
So, I just want to say thanks to everybody. I hope you're all having a great day so far. I don't know how this is going to go, as Clay will agree I'm not the best reader. Long would definitely agree that me trying to get any sort of story out takes a lifetime. So I'll try and get through this without boring these to tears. Firstly, on behalf of my beautiful wife and I, I'd like to thank everybody for sharing their special day with us. We're so happy you all could make it, and we're so lucky to have such amazing friends and family. I want to just do a few special mentions to people, to the bridesmaids and their staff. These are all beautiful. I lost my place. I know it means the world to Laura having these by our side today. We've all played a huge part in Lauren's life, and these have become great friends of mine and feels like family as well. To the groomsmen, one less than we should have had, but that's alright. These are looking gorgeous today too. wee bit of leg out and that. And I can confirm we're all true Scotsmen today. So I have a wee look. Check out Robbie's, he's definitely worth a watching, like. A lot of these are like brothers. I couldn't think of anybody else to be up here with me. We've been friends for what feels like a lifetime, and we've been through so much together. We've made some amazing memories, some we remember, most of it didn't. We've had some laugh playing in the band, the famous Tonics, if you didn't know about that. We've had mad holidays, mad nights out that turned into full weekends. Thank God the days are gone, because we couldn't do that anymore. Robbie's my best man. I couldn't think of anybody else to take that role. I can't believe that. Oh no. He's my best pal and brother all in one. Can't believe we've now got our own wee team with our wives and the young everywhere boys. I hope they turn out just like their old dads. And just a wee reminder before you do your speech, I've got plenty of time before yours. And Jordan, thanks for being up here today. You're one of the funniest and nicest guys you'll ever meet, and one of my best mates. I was going to say a big thanks to Gary. Unfortunately, I can't be here. But which is a shame, because we were actually going to do a Tonics reunion, so everybody could have seen Jordan slapping that bass, man. So thanks to the boys. Because I was supposed to say that. I'd like to say a very special thanks to Robbie and Nicola, who made this day happen. If it wasn't for Nicola wearing Lauren down and finally getting to a great edible date, we might not be standing up here. But there's actually a bit of the story, a lot of you know, that I like to remind Lauren of. A few years before I finally got that date, I'd actually tried my arm but didn't get very far. Me and Robbie were out in Glasgow and we were talking away, and I was like, see, Nicola's part of that Lauren, I fancy her. So he's like, I'll ask Nicola to get her number for you, so I'm all buzzing, got to get a wee bit of part and that. So gets the number, I text her, hiya, how you doing? Lauren replies really quick, hiya, who's this? So I tell her, it's Leigh Salmond. She didn't reply to that. Still waiting on it. But obviously she came to her senses eventually, seeing what a catch I really was. So I'd like to raise a glass to you two for making this happen. I'd like to take a wee second just to speak about my mum. I never thought I'd be getting married without her being here, but I know how proud she would be of me and how things have turned out, having such an amazing partner in Lauren, and to have started her family with a beautiful wee boy. She would also be so proud to call Lauren her daughter-in-law. She already saw Lauren as her own, and she would have been the most amazing granny to Clay. She was the best mum in the world, and the only thing missing from today and every day. So I'd like everybody to join us in a toast to my mum, Michelle.
Michelle.
And I'd also like to say a huge thanks to my dad for all he's done for us to make this day happen, but also everything else you do for us on a daily basis. Especially with Clay, he absolutely loves spending time with his butler. I know how happy you are to have Lauren as part of our family. On to the main event, Elaine. You're lovely as always, Hen. We've always had a great relationship and I love you like a mother. For having my dinner ready for me coming in for work every day, doing my washing, to catching me naked in the hallway. You've seen me in some states, but I was still always your number one boy. But that all changed since Jim and Clay came along.
It's not about that,
But now that I'm officially your son-in-law, maybe I'll move back up to number 2. Thanks to you for making this day happen. We really appreciate everything you've done for us and we love you so much. Elaine. And last but not least, to my beautiful wife. I really feel like the luckiest guy in the world. You're the most beautiful, funny and caring person I know. To find the one person you can just be yourself with and spend every minute of the day with is rare. You're one of a kind. I knew from the very beginning I'd found the one for me. You make me laugh every day, whether it's just us being daft, or if I go to make a coffee and can't find the kettle because you've rearranged the kitchen for the first time that week. You have the kindest heart, and when I was going through the hardest time in my life, you were right there beside me. We've been inseparable over the last 7 years and we've jammed that pack full of memories. From amazing holidays, nights out, nights in, just us having a party to ourselves. Going away travelling, getting our first home, then bringing our wee baby home. And that's just the start. You've become the most amazing mum to Clay and I'm so proud of you both. We really are the luckiest boys to have you. We love you so much. So, my beautiful bride, so I hope you are still with me, and I hope everybody has a great night. And all we want to do is to see everybody having a good time, and I know if my mum was here, she'd be the first one on the dance floor. So let's make her proud and let's see everybody up. Just before you say it to Robbie likes a wee exaggeration at times, so I'll let her say a word he says. Cheers everybody, cheers.
Cheers, Leigh. Afternoon, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Robbie. I'm one half of Leigh's best man. The other half is currently stuck in Doha and unfortunately won't be making an appearance today. When Leigh asked Gary and I to be his best men, we did rock, paper, scissors to see who was singing and who was doing the speech. Luckily for you all, I drew the latter. Now, I've been told I can't get away with a few thank yous and a quick toast for this best man's speech. Apparently I'm supposed to sing the groom's praises and talk about his good qualities. Unfortunately, I can't sing and I don't like lying. Before I get started on Leigh, I'd like a moment of appreciation for his new bride. You look absolutely beautiful in your dress and your bridesmaids look amazing too. So, on to Leigh. Leigh and I's friendship has been 20 plus years in the making. We both grew up on Greenburn Road and in the year 2003 formed the notorious street gang, the GBE. That's the Greenburn Elite to those of you who are alongside Blair, we kept the road trouble free on our micro scooters and rollerblades for many years. My first memories of Leigh are of a shy, quiet and quite feminine boy, which is understandable given his name is spelt like a girl. In 2007, Leigh became the lead guitarist of the Tonics. This was a band Gary, Jordan, Leigh and I formed. We were tipped for the stars with support acts such as Youngbloods, Adam Warrington, Love Island's Paige Tully and Lewis Capaldi, all using the Tonics to gain notoriety in the music industry. As you can imagine, the majority of stories I could tell you about Leigh are far too inappropriate for this speech, would most likely result in Lauren re-evaluating her choices in husband. So I've chosen carefully. In 2013, we went on our first boys' holiday, 2 weeks in Ibiza. It was probably a bit adventurous for our first joint, but we gave it a good go. We were there with our other group, and on the leaving night they insisted that we all visit the local strip club for one last hurrah. It goes without saying that Leigh had to be dragged to the strippers kicking and screaming, as he was obviously only in Ibiza for the music. The goings on from the strippers shall not be discussed, but it was evident later that evening when Leigh went to lift some euros that he had a very, very good time. His card had been blocked due to suspicious activity. That activity being a withdrawal of 1,200 euros from his account in under 1 hour. If spunking all his money wasn't bad enough, Leigh had to phone his mum to unblock the card as he was still using his junior account and the bank needed her authorisation to unblock. They had a good story lined up too, which fell apart rapidly when Michelle asked why the money was withdrawn from the ATM inside Taboo Gentlemen's Club. I'm sure everyone will agree that Leigh's an absolute gentleman and would struggle to name any flaw that he has. I, on the other hand, know of a slight weakness that I'm sure he won't mind me sharing with you. For as long as I have known him, he has a ridiculously weak bladder. Almost childlike on some occasions. He struggles to go from his house to work without stopping for a pee. His issue is exaggerated substantially when he's been drinking, with the bed sheets taking the brunt of things. This was all too much for an ex of Leigh's to take, and she ended up buying a rubber mattress for her bed. Unsurprisingly, this romance was short-lived. He's also prone to mistaking the sock drawer for the toilet in the middle of the night. Fortunately for us, but unfortunately for Leigh, this isn't his only little accident I can tell you about. The other one was a little messy and a little bit more embarrassing. I won't go into too much detail, but it involved too many cups of coffee, misjudging how long it would take to get into a service station toilet, a full packet of baby wipes, and having to go home for a shower and a full change of clothes. I'll leave it there, Leigh. It's an absolute pleasure for me to be standing up here giving a speech at two of my best friends' weddings. As mentioned earlier, Lauren and Leigh's relationship is a product of Nicola and I playing Cupid. There were a few weeks of passing messages then, but they finally plucked up the courage to exchange numbers. After that, the date was set and we planned a double date dinner in Edinburgh. The tensions were heightened, so much so that Lauren insisted that Leigh and I make our own way through and meet the girls in town. They were very merry by the time we met later, and it then later came to light that Lauren had to settle her nerves with a glass of wine or three. The night was a resounding hit, and as they say, the rest is history. Lauren and Leigh, you're two of the most thoughtful, caring and supportive people I know. The last 7 years has been an absolute blast, but watching our boys grow up together tops the lot. You're both amazing parents to Clay and the best friends you could ask for. I'm sure there's a special person here with us today watching you both with the biggest smile on her face. She'd be so proud of you all. If you don't mind, I'd like you all to raise a glass to those who can't be here today.
Absolute friends.
Absolute friends. Now, before I finish, I'd like to give you both a little gift. I put a lot of thought into what I could give you that you don't already have. I wanted to give you something meaningful, something thoughtful, something special, and most importantly, something that will last forever. Leigh, you might recognise the last line of that from my dad's 50th birthday party speech. I hope you like it. What size is it? finished, I'd just like to point out that Leigh and Lauren have actually stolen Jordan and I's 30th birthday weekend. So I wondered if you would all mind giving us a wee rendition of Happy Birthday before we go. Thank you everyone, enjoy your night, and before I go, please be upstanding for the Salmonds. The meals will be served now.
I love you, girl, I don't want you. I need you and I can't see no other way. Oh, baby, I'm home. So love me, and I'm home, baby. Oh, so touch me.